Hey lighting fanatics, today I'm going to show you these GE50-watt MR16 GU10-based halogen bulbs. I got these the other day from Lowe's to replace a couple of these stupid good-for-nothing Philips ones that burned out in my kitchen light. Long story short, these Philips ones are rated for 3,000 hours, yet they do not last nearly 3,000 hours. Such terrible bulbs. We also have some of these GE ones in that same fixture, and they've been in there longer than the Philips ones, and they're all still working just fine. So clearly these GE bulbs are a lot better than those Philips ones, so that's why I decided to get some of these. Let's take a look at the packaging for these bulbs. Of course, they're GE halogen bulbs, indoor floodlight, and they have a split reflector design, which they explain a little bit more on the back of the package, but pretty much what it means is that some of the light comes out the back of the bulb, while some, of course, still comes out the front. And that's a pretty nice feature because it means you can put these in fixtures with shades or just where the back of the bulb is exposed, and some of the light gets out the back and it just looks really nice. These are 50-watt bulbs, of course, and they're only 300 lumens. Now if you look at pretty much any other 50-watt MR16 GU10-based bulb, it's going to be a lot brighter than 300 lumens. This Philips one's a little on the low side. Usually they're more like 500 lumens. But these GE ones are only 300, and they're not like long life necessarily or anything. So I'm thinking maybe they're only accounting for the light that comes out the front of the bulb rather than some that comes out the back because of that split reflector design. I don't know, but whatever it is, it still allows these bulbs to be sold, because if they were even just 10 lumens brighter than that, they would be falling under the ban from last year and they wouldn't be able to be sold. I think these are some of the only, if not the only, 50-watt MO16 GU10 based bulbs that are still able to be sold after last year. They claim to have a 1.8-year lifespan, which based on 3 hours a day, that's 2,000 hours, which again, these stupid Philips ones claim to be 3,000 hours. 2.7 years at 3 hours a day, that's 3,000 hours. Yet these GE ones seem to last longer than the Philips ones. Unbelievable. These Philips ones are junk. Do not buy these. They are not worth it. Of course, they have the GU10 twisted lock base, so naturally they are 120 volts. And we get 3 bulbs in this package, as you can tell. And I got 2 packages so I'd have some extra. And then there's the bottom of the front. Here's the back, same information as the front, except they explain that split reflector design. Then they have some warning and caution information. Here's the lighting facts. They show you the kind of fixture you could use it in. And it's a floodlight, so it's actually a 25-degree pattern. Pretty standard. This package is already open, but I just want to show just how terrible this package design is, honestly. Because, as you can see, if it's open, it's not, like, perfectly resealable. You can, of course, like, shut it again, but it comes back apart really easily. Like, if you were to drop this or something were to happen, those bulbs would just come flying out of here. I would have at least put some kind of way to, like, reseal it or something. I don't like that design for the packaging very much. But we'll go ahead and take one of these bulbs out, and we'll set the rest of this stuff somewhere else because we don't need it right now. And let's take a look at the bulb itself. Here's what it looks like from the front. Of course, it has the UV stopping glass, because these halogen bulbs get so hot that they start to emit UV light. So you gotta have that glass to prevent that from getting out and getting into your eyes and stuff. You can also see the little halogen capsule in there. And you can see the split filament it has. There's kind of two sides to the filament. That's a pretty standard design for those little halogen capsules. You can also see the multifaceted reflector in there, and you can tell how part of the halogen capsule down there is kind of extended behind the reflector. So that's how it kind of gets its split reflector design, where some of the light escapes out the back of the bulb, while most of it comes out the front like normal. Speaking of the back of the bulb, it's frosted, which is kind of interesting. Feels like it's on the outside, not the inside. It's an outside etched frost. And you can see the reflector through the frosting too, which is kind of cool. And then this part down here is not covered in any way, so the light can get out. Then here's our GU10-based nice ceramic material, of course, because this bulb gets super hot, and if it were plastic, it'd probably melt. And the two pins that you just put into your socket, and then you twist it, and that locks it into place. Then here's the etch on the bulb. Let's zoom in on that. It's the GE Halogen, flood 25 degrees, 50 watt, 120 volt, made in China. That's kind of unfortunate. And then on the other side, there's some kind of patent number. Well, that's pretty much everything there is to see about the bulb itself, so let's go ahead and install it in a fixture and see how it performs. I only have one light fixture other than the one that's in the kitchen that can take GU10-based bulbs, and that's this little candle warming lamp right here. This uses a 25 watt MR16 GU10-based bulb to heat up the candle so that it'll emit its scent without actually burning. So let's go ahead and remove the candle from this and take out the regular bulb that this fixture uses. Here's what it looks like. It's just a standard MR16, just a 25 watt version, as you can tell. Set that aside. We'll get this bulb installed. This will be kind of tricky because it's kind of hard to see the GU10 socket. Here, let's see if I can do this. The problem is the cord for this lamp is tied down. I don't want to have to remove that. There we go. Just twist it in and it locks in place. Despite the fact that we're in a different location, I did bring all of our usual testing materials. We have the kilowatt meter, as well as the dimmer here because this halogen bulb is dimmable, of course. And then I also have some random markers here to test the CRI of this bulb. I have positioned the camera a little bit closer to the bulb, so hopefully you'll be able to see it a little bit better. You have 121.2 volts coming in. Switch that to watts, and we'll go ahead and turn this bulb on in 3, 2, 1. And there's what it looks like. Right off the bat, you can probably see how it's emitting some light out the back of the bulb, which looks really, really nice in this lamp because of the shade. If it were this 25 watt version that normally resides in this lamp, it would just look terrible because there would be no light shining on the shade. But ah well, I don't think they make 25 watt MO16s like this, so we're just gonna have to deal with it. It's consuming 47.3 watts. Now I'm sure that's because the dimmer's in line. If I plug it in just by itself, now it consumes 50.6 watts, so pretty much right on target. So again, the dimmer, as we found, kinda takes away some of the watts for some reason. Go ahead and get a closer view of this bulb. There's what it looks like. You can see how some light comes out the back and some comes out the front. Pretty neat. And you can kind of see the kind of floodlight pattern that this bulb has on the wall back there. I have repositioned the camera so that you can see how bright this bulb is a little bit better. It's definitely about as bright as you would expect for a 50-watt MR16 bulb or 120-volt one. A 12-volt one would be a little bit brighter, about 800 lumens. And we'll put all these markers down here so you can see what the CRI is like. Should be pretty much just on point because it is an incandescent bulb after all. And incandescent bulbs, or halogen bulbs, I guess, have perfect color rendering. And now, we'll go ahead and dim this bulb down. We'll start by dimming it all the way down. And it emits a very, very ambery color, as you would expect. And it's very, very dim. And I actually think it looks quite neat in this fixture, dimmed all the way down. Just a nice subtle glow. Pretty nice. Yeah, that back glow thing, or whatever it's called, is a really nice feature. Then we'll bring it up to about 50% brightness. And again, it looks pretty standard. Nothing too special, it's just an halogen bulb dimmed to about 50%. Now we'll bring it up all the way again, and it gets back to its 2900K color that it has at full brightness. And yeah, it looks pretty nice. Alright, I've given the bulb some time to cool down. So we'll go ahead and remove it from the fixture here. Still a little bit warm. Set it down here. I'm not even going to try and touch that ceramic part. But I just want to show the difference again between the bulb with the split reflector and the standard bulb. You can see how the back of the standard bulb is pretty much covered, whereas the back of the split reflector bulb is completely open. So again, really nice design and thinking from GE. Maybe not the best for a real covered track light or a recessed light, but definitely good for fixtures with shades or just where the back of the bulb is open. Let's go ahead and take one last look at this bulb, starting with the front, the back side, the base, and the edge. These GE bulbs are really nice. They just absolutely give these pathetic Philips ones a run for their money. Well, let's go ahead and get the packaging for these bulbs back in place here. I'll just bring over this one package and set the bulb to the side. And there you have it, the GE 50-watt MR16 GU10-based halogen bulbs with the split reflector feature. Well, if you enjoyed what you saw, be sure to leave a like down below, feel free to leave a comment, and if you want to see more cool lighting videos in the future, be sure to subscribe. See you next time.